When the spirits in our homes torment us through our nightmares, the terror can feel suffocating.
I grew up in a conservative Christian family. I started feeling negativity towards my family. I was about 16 or so, and I was upset. I couldn't do typical teenager things. Like, I couldn't go out with friends. I had to go to church every Sunday, and I hated it.
Desperate for an escape, Catherine moved in with her boyfriend, whom she met on the internet.
What drew me to him is that he was from a completely different culture. Everything that I grew up in, he grew up in the exact opposite. He just seemed like this super cool, badass guy, and I was just really attracted to that. I was living in a house with his two friends. It was based on some old war zone land.
Catherine soon discovered that her new home harbored hidden secrets.
They would say, oh, at nighttime, we can see orbs, or there's a window that's kind of creepy when you look out.
I keep hearing these weird boot step noises.
And they would say, oh, look, listen to these boots marching. And I actually heard them too. That was really weird for me because up until then, I've never encountered anything paranormal, spiritual, anything like that.
The paranormal activity Catherine experienced during the day began to seep into her nightmares.
One day, something really weird happened to me. All of a sudden, this shadowy black mass just came into the room, and I felt very heavy. The shadow creature said, someone's gonna die. It lasted for a few minutes, and I felt so helpless. I thought I was dying. I didn't know what was going on. And then it disappeared.
What was that?
As soon as I told my boyfriend, he started telling me more about his background, and he would say, well, maybe I'm cursed, I've been followed by evil spirits. So that started to make me feel a little bit uneasy, like, what have I gotten myself into?
After seeing an entity in her nightmare, Catherine grew increasingly nervous about her new home.
I was afraid of going to sleep.
If you start having nightmares upon moving into a new location, it's very possible that there could be a spirit in the home trying to reach out in a time where it knows you will be able to see it and it can communicate with you a little easier than it would be during your busy everyday life.
Around this time is when I started to have recurring nightmares. I'm in a parking lot at night. It's extremely dark. I feel like I need to be looking for my car. I start to understand, okay, looks like nobody's here. And then I can see what appears to be a police car. And I'm relieved by that. The officer rolls down the window and asks if I'm okay. And I start telling him that, I don't know what's going on. This is really strange. Where is everybody? And all of a sudden, I just know that this is not a real officer, or I just need to run. I start running around the parking lot, and he's just slowly following me at first, and then just getting faster and faster. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just running, and I can just feel the asphalt underneath me. I don't really know why I'm running exactly. I just know that I have to. I feel like maybe he's going to kill me. I don't know. I wake up before he can actually grab me into the vehicle. I wake up sweating super hard. My heart rate is still very fast. Every time it's like I'm having it for the first time. I do believe there was paranormal influence over my nightmares because I didn't really have a problem with nightmares in general until I moved to North Carolina.
Catherine's nightmares caused her to develop irrational fears.
I could be walking down a hotel hallway and start feeling anxious if I don't see anyone. I do not like being in empty places. I don't like walking through parking lots alone at night. And I would just immediately walk faster and get in my car and lock the doors right away.
Catherine's fear of parking lots did not go unnoticed.
One day, Catherine and I were going to the mall, and as soon as we pulled into there, she immediately felt uneasy because, of course, we're the only car driving around at the time looking for a spot. So she kind of shut down a little bit.
Please, can we go somewhere else?
Yes, of course, we'll go somewhere else. I asked her if she wanted to park somewhere else, that she was more comfortable, maybe out in the open if we could find something.
After my recurring nightmares began, I started seeing shadow people quite often. The first time, my boyfriend and I were taking a walk, and I just saw a shadow person just kind of quickly run through the trees in the background.
Did you see that?
Catherine continued to see shadow people during the day and also at night.
I would see them in the room. I would see them outdoors. They just became a normal part of my life as long as he was around.
Catherine was certain that the home she was living in was haunted. The longer she stayed in the house, the more intense her nightmares became.
The nightmare begins, as it always does, in the parking lot. It's nighttime. I don't know where everyone is. I just know that something or someone's following me. It catches up to me faster and faster. I'm running just anywhere I can get to get away from whatever's coming after me. Right as I'm caught, I can feel a literal tug on my arm, and then I just wake up in a complete panic.
Catherine suspected that whatever was causing her recurring nightmares was also impacting her boyfriend.
He would always tell me stories about things he had done back in Ukraine, like burning down part of a church or hurting a soldier, and it would start to make me feel very uncomfortable. And he would talk about dark arts and Satanism and dark creatures following him. He would talk about this entity that took hold of him called the Tower.
The Tower's been with me for years.
My boyfriend told me that the Tower has been with him since he was little. I didn't understand what it all meant.
It's interesting to me that her boyfriend would choose the word the tower, and then after she was having an experience in the parking lot being chased by a police officer, is the being one of the same? Because to her, a police officer might be that tower, that pillar of strength, but to him, he may look at it as a tower, very intimidating, very strong. It's possible that whatever Catherine is seeing in her nightmare is the same being that is attaching itself to her boyfriend. They're just looking at it from two totally different perspectives.
The entity taking over her boyfriend became increasingly aggressive.
It's just another night. I'm just hanging out, playing a computer game. He started just looking different. Like his facial expression was different, and his eyes looked different. Like I could tell that something was wrong. And then he started talking.
This is the tower speaking.
And saying things like, "This is the tower speaking," or "The tower told me to do this," or "The tower told me that you're thinking this." It was like a horror movie. And he would snap out of it and he would not know what's going on. He would not remember. When the tower is talking to me, I'm very scared because I'm alone with this person. I have no idea what's about to happen. I can't defend myself.
So in Catherine's case, where her boyfriend is becoming more and more negative, more and more a danger to not only himself but her, it's extremely important for her to get out of that situation, because if this entity does take him over, it could do actual physical harm through him to her.
Soon, Catherine's relationship began to deteriorate.
The tower was a detriment to our relationship. I didn't know how to deal with it. And we were just getting into what I felt were dangerous situations, and I didn't want that for my life anymore. So I started to feel like it needed to end soon.
The entity taking over Catherine's boyfriend remained persistent.
One day, I get my phone, I see 20 missed calls. I listen to one of the voicemails. He's extremely angry, and he's saying, "The tower is telling me, if you don't call back, then I'm gonna break up with you. You better call back, or you better answer this phone call." And that day, by that point, I was over the relationship. So I literally just blocked his number and just never contacted him again. When I split up with my boyfriend, I noticed immediately my nightmares became more infrequent. I'm in a much better place in my life right now.
Despite leaving North Carolina, Catherine's nightmares haven't fully gone away.
I think the nightmares will always remain with me because I still have them nowadays, and I'm still frightened by them with the same intensity. There will always be those emotional scars for me.
This is just a reminder to subscribe to enjoy our growing collection of paranormal content. Don't forget to like your favorite episode and ring the bell to be notified of new content. As always, thanks for watching.